But first, we need to get to the fact that the city of St. Louis is being sued over this issue that we brought up a long time ago when the city first included in its discrimination language, basically, they protected abortion providers. And I have referred to it, and the Archdiocese has referred to it, as turning St. Louis into a sanctuary abortion city. And the Archdiocese said at the time that it wouldn't stand for that. And this morning, a news conference was held here downtown to talk a little bit more about a lawsuit that is being filed along those lines. We're joined right now by Sarah Pitlick, and she is a special counsel for the Thomas More Society. She was on hand this morning when this lawsuit was announced along with the Archbishop. Sarah, thanks for giving us some time today. Sarah, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you for giving us some time. We didn't have your mic turned up over here. My apologies.
It's my pleasure.
So please tell me a little bit more about the announcement this morning on the steps of the courthouse downtown.
Well, we announced that we have filed suit on behalf of Our Lady's Inn Maternity Home, the Archdiocesan Elementary Schools, and private citizen Frank O'Brien and his family business. We filed a lawsuit in federal court seeking the invalidation of the ordinance you are referring to, ordinance number 70459. As you noted, it was enacted a few months ago. It's unsound. It creates a protected class under the non-discrimination laws, defined not by an immutable characteristic such as race or gender, but by one's opinion about abortion or whether one has ever made any kind of decision in any way related to a reproductive health technology, which is a category so broad as to include abortion activists and abortion providers and protect those individuals and entities in the context of employment and housing.
Well, basically what you guys are saying here is that abortion proponents in this case have suddenly become a protected class in St. Louis. And I thought that was a way of looking at it that I hadn't really thought of when we discussed this before, but that's effectively what the city did here with this ordinance, correct?
That's right. It says to individuals who object to abortion, the practice of abortion, that they may not, in hiring or renting property, they may not use one's position on abortion as a criterion for hiring. So, for example, the Catholic elementary school can't ask applicants to be a religion teacher. They can't ask that person if they support or oppose the church's teachings on abortion. That would be illegal under this ordinance.
Wow.
And punishable by criminal penalty.
Right.
Jail time.
Right.
Yes.
And if, let's say, for example, a person that operated a building with space for rent turned down someone who wanted to rent that building because, let's say, for example, they wanted to open it up to Planned Parenthood or lease it to sublease it to Planned Parenthood, they would be facing fines and or jail time, correct?
That's correct. That's exactly right.
Wow. Have you run across anything else like this in the country?
There are two other statutes that when the drafters of the ordinance said that this existed in 3 other jurisdictions. That was misleading in a couple of ways. One is it only exists in 2 other jurisdictions, and that's the District of Columbia and Delaware. And the second, more pernicious way is that, in fact, this ordinance is far, far broader than anything that exists in D.C. or Delaware. It has speech codes in it. It explicitly constrains speech by prohibiting the circulation or publication of any preference related to reproductive health decisions. Nothing like that exists in D.C. or Delaware. Neither D.C. nor Delaware has anything like the housing provisions. Both of those only apply to the employment context. And neither D.C. nor Delaware has any language that could be interpreted to require private businesses to provide health insurance coverage for abortion and contraception, which this ordinance does. So, no, this is not. This particular ordinance does not have any analog in any other jurisdiction.
Wow. So as part of the lawsuit, do you go in and ask for immediate injunctive relief to prevent the possibility of somebody being a victim of this law before it can be decided in court?
Yes, we will be asking for a preliminary injunction. Today we filed our complaint. We did not file a motion for preliminary injunction, but we will be filing a motion for preliminary injunction in short order.
Yeah, which would just basically suspend this thing until a decision's made, right?
Exactly, yes. It would stay the enforcement of the ordinance until litigation is complete.
Wow. Well, I'm glad to see it happen because, I'd spoken to someone from the Archdiocese when this first passed or when they were considering passing it, and they said they wouldn't stand for it. So I'm thrilled to see the Thomas More Society come in and back them up with this lawsuit.
Well, the Archdiocese has been very motivated, and they were very, they tried to help the city avoid this situation. They were there at the hearings, as was Our Lady's Inn, talking to the aldermen about what was problematic, unconstitutional, illegal about this ordinance.
Right.
And the ordinance was passed anyway. So no one can say that our clients did not do their best to prevent that.
Yeah, they don't care. Besides that, they also passed some language that would basically shut down people's right to address somebody who was maybe entering an abortion clinic or offer them literature or an alternative opinion.
Yes, they're working on other unfortunate ordinances as well.
Yeah, very, very true. Well, Sarah Pitlick, I appreciate your time with the special counsel for the Thomas More Society, and thank you for giving us an update on this lawsuit.
Thank you for covering it. Have
a great day. Thank you so much. I wanted to get Sarah on the air because I knew that that lawsuit got filed this morning here in St. Louis. So at least they've started the process. Now they'll ask for injunctive relief, which is good news, because you've got not only a board of aldermen in the city filled with radical progressives, probably about to be more filled very shortly, and one of them that moved up the ranks to mayor. So expect more of the same moving forward. Let's hope that we can get into a court and they can step in and say, no, we're not going to allow this to happen. So there's an update for you on what's going on with that case. Hopefully we can get this thing stopped by the court here shortly. Liz, why don't we get to the short list, please?
The Short List, brought to you by Bill Thomas Camper Sales. Find your camper at btcamper.com.
America is a sovereign nation, and our first priority is always the safety and security of our citizens.
If you have a leak, please call me at Fox News. I'm all for leakers. I think leakers are good, contribute to democracy. I don't think try to undermine government, but
far too many campuses across America have become characterized by speech codes, safe zones.